going to be presentations. We have an interesting announcement and lots of great friends gathered today. So let's start off by thanking our greeters, Greg Farrell, Don Kroger, and Greg Gotchlich. Thank you very much. And let's welcome Doug Busby to come up, get ready to say the invocation while we do the pledge. And Rick Amrine leads us in the national anthem today. Thank you. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome to those of you who are joining us by Zoom today.
Henri Frederick Emile was a Swiss moral philosopher who lived in the mid-1800s. Now, moral philosophy is a branch of ethics concerned with our doing the right things. So in a way, we're all moral philosophers when we say the 4-way test. This Thanksgiving, we may wish to ponder these words of Emile, quoted in an invocation written by Sean Bird of the Shuswap Rotary Club in British Columbia, Canada. Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude. Gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. Thankfulness may consist merely of words, but gratitude is shown in acts. May our acts as Rotarians demonstrate our gratitude for our many, many blessings, for friendship, for health, for work, and for opportunities to gather together to change our community and the world. So be it. Amen.
Thanks, Doug, for that great introduction to our theme for today. Lots of gratitude and giving today. Exciting. So Don, can you come introduce no visitors today? Well, we have lots of visitors, but they'll be introduced a little bit later. So Jonathan, it is your turn to be Sergeant Jonathan Kraft. Very
Thank
popular
you. Yeah, popular guy. Yeah. Anyway, good news out there. Good news. Don't all raise your hand at once. We don't want that. Make me start picking on people. Larry.
I would celebrate my great grandson's first birthday out in Frisco and Noblesville.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Did you get him a big gift at least?
Where I'm as young as I am, this is amazing.
Who else out there? Any other good news, Bob?
Great weekend to be a boiler.
That's right. If you're a Boilermaker fan, it's going to be a great, great year. If you're not a U fan, so.
Easy.
Easy. Anyways, anyone else out there? Anyone else?
I just have $20.
But you have $20?
Well, because and a satellite meeting the other night, I mentioned my business.
Oh, good job. There we go. We got $20. That always likes more money. Anyone else for the good of the order before we go? Yes, Barb, you are. Oh, you would love the microphone.
Okay, I gotta take deep breaths. I officially announced my candidacy for Porter County Commissioner. This is the article that was an article in the paper last week. And I just want to thank all of the Rotarians that gave me so much encouragement, support, and advice, and are going to continue with me throughout my campaign and into being a commissioner. And I just want to promise you also that I will continue my perfect attendance as commissioner of Porter County.
Thank you, Barb. Anyone else? Oh, look.
Two things, Jonathan. So first, as a newly minted sergeant at arms, I feel like that was $20.
Yeah, it should probably be.
And I'd also like to get $20 from you because I know that I saw an article.
Oh, no, yeah. Okay, let's go over this article. Okay, it's great. It's great that the Times can write an article for me. So that was good. I just wish the guy could write what I told him and not the stuff he made up. So it was all very true. Or not all, parts of it were true and parts of it was, where did he come up with this stuff? I did not say that. Then the other funny thing is he actually recorded the conversation and put some of it on the news or on the radio. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, so anyways, if that Stan guy calls you to interview, just know he's recording it and he might get it completely all wrong. So, but it's the fact of farm ground in Porter counties with a lot of money. So that's very good and true. So that gets into my fun facts of auction. Well, thanks for stealing some of my thunder where I was going with that. But the whole story is right now in the world, stuff is bringing more money and people are spending a lot of money. We don't know. There was a fun auction actually last week in New York City. Sotheby's sold the Mackinac collection into divorce settlement. So if you ever get into a divorce situation like this is the fun one. They own 74 pieces of art combined between the two of them. They've been fighting for like 6 years over how much they're really worth. So the judge demanded them to sell them at auction. They sold 35 pieces last week. And the 35 pieces brought $680 million for 35 pieces of art. And that was more than the whole collection was actually appraised at. So it's good they sent it to auction, so that's always true. And they're going to sell the rest in the spring. And once they sell the group in the spring, it will be the most dollars sold for one entity ever at auction. It'll be 3 years ago, there was the Rockefeller sold the Rockefeller family still has great holdings. One part of their family sold 1.1 billion in art in 1 year in an auction, but that was the largest single one-day auction ever at $680 million. So, and the highest piece was a Mark Rothko at like 85 million. So if you have a Rothko on your walls, I'm very happy to help assist in any way, shape, or form that you need that in. So. Yeah, so the auction world is alive and well in the farmland. I guess everyone reads. I don't even get the paper. I don't even know where you get it. But they have the paper and you read it. Even Larry called that. So, yeah. But anyways, thank you guys. Everyone have a great week. And I'll give you. Hey, where's?
And get Barb's $20.
Barb. Oh,
You can take it from your phone now.
Okay, some announcements. What was I going to say? Jonathan's son is in my granddaughter's class at school.
Yeah, we had a birthday party last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
And like my brother's first grade teacher said, if you don't believe everything they tell me about you, I won't believe everything. Vice versa. I won't believe everything they tell me about. Anyways, remember that if you bring a guest, your name goes in a drawing. And next week will be our gift drawing for the guests. Last week I teased about a 4-day vacation. You never know. And our Christmas party is coming up. last week on December 20th, so last week Natalie handed out tags for gift giving to clients at Opportunity Enterprises, and if you took a tag, we ask you to have those gifts here next week, unwrapped with your tag attached to the bag that the gift is in. And there were more tags to be given out, so before you leave today, put your name down, we'll get you a tag off the angel tree to give gifts. And Mary Jo wants to talk about something else about our Christmas party coming.
So we're gonna do a gift exchange and it's gonna be just kind of different. So bear with us, and it's new, but it's a cool idea that you guys all have different careers. Not everyone knows what everyone does. And I don't know how much time you guys spend on the Rotary website just looking at names and occupations. So probably not too much. So the idea is bring something fun from your occupation. Something that tells the story of what you do, maybe why you do it. Hospice is a blast. We can do this. We can do this. No, there's really some cool stuff. Hospice does amazing stuff that cares for people, right? And a pillow is caring. I mean, anything, just think outside the box. Don't give Post-its and pens. Give koozies, right? But at the same time, something bankers, I mean, we're all like money. That's easy, right? I mean, the trouble is us insurance folks, right? But really, just keep thinking about it, or a hobby. Yes, it doesn't have to be your occupation, it can be your hobby. Just something fun. You can write a letter. You can write a letter to somebody in Rotary that talks about your passion and what you do. So the idea is to get to know each other better. Use your occupation as that catapult or your hobby. That's all.
Okay, so the party consists of our gift giving, the jazz band from the high school will be here on the 20th, and our gift exchange and a special dessert. So hopefully everybody can be here then. Okay, right now we're going to have a quick induction of a new member. And Atso is going to tell us who's joining us.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce Lisa Dorothy as a new Rotarian to Valparaiso Club. She is not new Rotarian because she was Rotarian over in Crown Point. But with her new role, serving as the president and CEO for Center for the Workforce Innovation, which is located right here in Valparaiso, but serving 7 county service area: Lake, Porter, LaPorte, Pulaski, Newton, Stark, and Jasper. 7 county service area is right here, and she is new to us for this moment, but I wanted really to share with you that prior to becoming a CEO and president to CWI, she was the president and CEO for Lake Area United Way. She led that organization through very transformational process and how she was focused to make a big impact in the community. With those activities, what she has done, those activities were recognized through the NIPSCO Lumina Award, and that was back in 2018, I believe, Lisa. You were awarded with that Community Leadership Award. Congratulations on that one. And prior to that, she served as director. I'm going to try to remember what you sent me. I did not make the print out, but you were the director for the advertisement at the Times Media Company. You were there, and then you worked for the Trade Winds Services, serving children and adults with disability. And again, her resume is so long, could not remember all of that, but we are pleased to have Lisa with us. Please extend warm welcome to Lisa. Lisa?
I'm just going to say thank you. I know we have a packed agenda with that in mind. Thank you. This is a long-awaited moment, right? Thank you.
And one more thing, I forgot how I can do that. She is the trustee for Valparaiso campus. I did that. Thank you, Lisa.
Welcome, Lisa. And I do have a nice paperweight for you with the 4A test on it to give you after the meeting. So, see you after the meeting. Okay, so lots of good things already today. So great. And right now I'm going to have Doug Mock come up and do a special presentation of Centennial grants.
All right, good afternoon, Rotarians. I'm excited about what we're going to present here. We, as you recall, from all the fundraising we did to commemorate our centennial, we had a lot of money left over, 30,000 to be exact. And so the Centennial Committee sat down and met with 3 wonderful organizations here in the community and decided on how we're going to allocate that 30,000. And we'll present today. All 3 of these organizations will receive a portion of that 30,000. So, all right, here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to call them up. We're going to take a picture with the check, and then they have an opportunity to share a few things about the gift that we're making. And then we need time to rewrite the check for the next group. So, all right. First one is the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Northwest Indiana in their new building project. We are donating $5,000 to erect the flagpole, so it'll be named for the flagpole out front. And to represent Boys and Girls Club, we have Larry Moore and Shire Kitch.
Hi, everyone. I have been Rotary for 8 years. I was Rotarian for 12 years prior to retiring in 15. So very nice to be back. But I'm here to represent the Boys and Girls Club. I am on the board of directors and have been so for 12 years. One of my responsibilities is chair of the construction committee. Let me give you a little background. When we merged with the Lake County Club about 8 years ago, it was very obvious we had a lot of issues with our facilities. So strategic goal was, let's upgrade them. Since that time, through a lot of work by the senior staff, Shire, Ryan Smiley, and Mark Jones, we've raised $20 million. And we have done full upgrades to Hammond, East Chicago, Newland, and now our first one from the dirt up. It will be Valparaiso. So it was noted as we were doing this that we had no presentation of the flag in any of our clubs. So we changed that. That's why we're here today. You're going to help meet our objective of getting that done at all of our clubs. So thank you very much. And I'm here on accepting this on behalf of our 10,000 members. By the way, we are the #1 club in the state of Indiana besides. Thank you.
Okay. The second organization we're going to recognize with a gift of $10,000 today. It's going to the Shirley Hines Land Trust for their Meadowbrook Nature Preserve project, and specifically sponsoring a ADA accessible trail route that they're going to be constructing. So we have Chris Kraus, Bonnie Hawksworth, and Larry Stanton. If you come forward, representing Shirley Hines Land Trust.
All right, well, most of you have heard me talk a lot about Shirley Hines over the years, and just really want to express our gratitude and thanks for supporting this ADA accessible trail at Meadowbrook. For those of you that don't know, Meadowbrook is 224 acres of permanently protected land just between Valparaiso and Chesterton, right next to Sunset Hill County Park. We're really excited. One of our big things from a strategic visioning standpoint is to connecting communities and individuals to nature and conservation. And so our board and staff and many individual donors have essentially made Meadowbrook a strategic priority in terms of significant capital improvements. So we're putting a pavilion, restroom, parking area, sustainable plaza, and also an ADA accessible trail. So we will look forward to completing all of these improvements over the next couple of months. Construction's supposed to start in a couple of weeks. So we urge all of you to get out there and hike the preserve. It is currently open to the public. There's about 4 miles of trails. It's really a spectacular place. So a big thanks to the Centennial Committee, Satellite Rotary Club, and all of you that volunteered in the past to help us make Meadowbrook a great place. So thank you.
Okay, this is working. How you coming, Tim? All right. A little nervous about it. You didn't scribble, did you? Okay, the last one is a donation of $15,000 to Opportunity Enterprises. The neat thing about this is that $15,000 is being matched by another $15,000. And this is going towards the Lakeside Respite facility that they're adding to. Anybody's got a beautiful setting. And we're specifically going to be sponsoring a window in a tree house that we're building for the clients. So it's pretty cool. So Casey Ensign and Jane Kobeck are here to receive a check for $15,000.
Check's coming. So. To the mail. Come on, Ted. Don't pull hands. Don't pull hands. Go. Thank you.
Thank you so much. First, I'd like to mention our CEO, Neil Samahan, wish he could be here today. He had a meeting in Fort Wayne this morning and couldn't make it back in time, but this is so meaningful to us. And like Doug mentioned, this will be matched. And this is supporting the new respite center that we're building on Lake Eliza. So again, providing those caregivers that relief that they can have and have a safe place where they can leave their loved one for 4 hours or up to 2 weeks at a time. And even overnights for children and adults. So thank you so much for providing a place in our region that parents can rely on. And like you made mention, there's going to be a beautiful accessible tree house with a bridge right off a hill. So we're so excited to have your name represented in that tree house, and you can just imagine the first time people are going across that bridge for the first time. So we'll make sure to send you pictures with your name represented, and you can come out and visit, spend some time. It's 400 square feet, so a lot of you can come. Great. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'd just like to wrap up with just a couple thoughts. This committee started about 3 years ago. It's been culmination of 3 years of work. And besides the commitment to the Rotary Library Garden, and consider these 3 wonderful projects that we're supporting, plus the Valpo Schools Foundation, we purchased a brick for the Legacy Walk. That's a total of $145,000 that we've given out to the community in commemoration of our centennial. So it's something we can be really proud of. And I just want to end by thanking the committee and all the hard work that they've done to recognize them. Sharon Kish, Martinez, Don Kroger, Bob Wanik, Vi Smith, Tim Warner, Carrie Whittier, Nakshi Guman, and Barb Regnitz. I just want to publicly thank them for all their hard work.
Thank you, everybody, for everything you had to do with giving these wonderful grants. And as he said, the committee for making sure they were good stewards of the monies. And I will have Billy come now and introduce our guest speaker for our special Thanksgiving focus today. Thank you so much for bringing them.
First, I'd like to make a motion that Doug Mott chair the bicentennial. It's a great honor to introduce today's speaker. Stephanie Jones is on a mission to inspire others to give and practice gratitude daily. She shared her message on the power of giving, gratitude, and goals with thousands from the stage and through her books, The Giving Challenge, The Gratitude Challenge, and her new children's book, Giving Gal. Stephanie grew up in the southeastern Indiana town of Versailles. She graduated from Taylor University in Upland. She's been a private investigator, a police officer, a senior manager with a Fortune 100 tech company. She currently works in the web services division of a little startup called Amazon. Stephanie is a member of the board of directors of the Porter County Community Foundation, where she currently serves as the board chair. This makes her not only my boss, but my favorite board member. Sorry, John Walsh. I consider Stephanie a trusted advisor and friend, and for that, I am grateful. Please welcome Stephanie Jones.
So back in April, I was awakened about 4 o'clock in the morning with an itch in my arm. I got out of bed, I looked, it was swollen. I thought I had a spider bite. I wanted to go back to bed. By the time I got back to bed, I all but passed out, woke up my husband, said I need to go to the ER. Something is not right. We went to the ER. The doctor asked me if I got scratched by a cat. I said, no, I think it might be a spider. Gave me an antibiotic and sent me on my way. By that afternoon, I had a streak running up my arm to my bicep and found myself in the ER, everyone scurrying around, immediately get me checked in. I had an infection, I had MRSA, and the nurse says, you know, if that gets to your heart, it kills you. And that was not how I wanted to be spending my day. I want to take you back though. Bill mentioned I was a police officer, and years before, as a gift, my sister had given me a gratitude journal. Actually, it was a blank journal, but she had heard on the Oprah show the power of just writing down what you were grateful for. And so when I went into the hospital, that poor nurse blew 4 veins in my arm trying to get the IV in. And as tears streamed down my face, I just thought, how can I be kind to this person? How can I just be grateful for the next nurse that came in and got the IV? I was so grateful when she got that in. But as I sat in the hospital bed, I realized my attitude. I couldn't change what I was going through. I could not change this infection. I could pray that the drugs worked for the doctors, but I could control my attitude as I sat there in the bed day in and day out. And so I look back of these years when I had practiced gratitude, years and years of every day writing down 3 to 5 things that I was grateful for, had changed my mindset, not just on the good days, but on the bad days, on the really bad days when you're sitting in the hospital with an infection, praying you don't die of that infection. And so I decided, how can I be grateful for everybody that walks in the room? The guy that came in to empty my trash, thank you so much for emptying the trash, but then taking it a step further and getting to know him. What is your name? What do you do? Like just having conversations. For each nurse, for the people that came in and changed my bedclothes, the people that helped me to the shower, the people that helped me with my IV every time I had to get up and unplug. I sat in that bed and chose to focus on the good and the gratitude with everything, and it changed my entire experience in the hospital. The nurses and doctors would come in and say, you're the happiest patient we have. Like, how are you so happy? This should be a miserable time. But I chose to practice gratitude in that time. And what I also saw though, is it changed their attitude of what they were doing. I saw nurses and doctors who may be having a bad day come in, and we would start talking about something else or something in their life or their kids. I had my husband, Bill, talked about, I went on a giving journey. I think I talked about the last time I gave a gift every day for 522 consecutive days. I took a break, and it's been continuing on for a decade. So every day I had my husband go to a bakery and bring in cupcakes and cookies, and just the joy that those small things brought to that staff, just to say, I see you, and I'm thankful and grateful for what you're doing for me and for all the patients around. So as I prepared today, I thought about how do you practically take gratitude? We're in this month of gratitude, but into the new year. It's actually a practice that has a lot of benefits physical benefits, mental benefits, and even in the workplace. So one that I talked about is I am big on writing down every day. Every day, I write down 3 to 5 things I'm grateful for. And it might not seem like a big thing, especially if you're having a good day. But when you start to go through bad times, and if you've done that consistently, you can pull out your gratitude journal and you can say, wow, I do have a lot to be grateful for. Even though today might be a bad day, I have hundreds, now I have thousands of things that I've been grateful for over the year. Gratitude has helped me focus on the now. Just going, instead of in this constant of, I will be happy when, fill in the blank. I like to go back to high school when I said, well, I couldn't wait to get to college. And then when I got to college, I couldn't wait to get a job. And then when I was single, I couldn't wait to get married. And then some days when I'm married, I couldn't wait to be single. No, I've been married 20 years. But you see what I'm saying is we're always in this motion of, well, when this happens, I will be happy. But what if we just focused on the now and going, no matter what's going on, what can I be grateful for in this moment? Over the years, Bill said, I mean, I've worked for Fortune 100 companies, I work for Amazon, I have my own company. Like, it's busy, but gratitude has taught me to slow down. One of the things that I love to do is just watch squirrels and birds play. Have you ever just sat and watched squirrels play? They're the most fascinating animals ever. They're daredevils. They will teach you so much. They will go out on the end of a branch and do a loopy-loop and come back in. And but I would have never saw the simpleness of a squirrel and the lessons that squirrels can teach us. So gratitude teaches us to slow down. I think also is gratitude. I go back to when I sat in that hospital, and instead of focusing on the bad things, is going, what can I learn? What can I learn as I go through this? And one of the biggest lessons that I learned was empathy. I had not been in the hospital since I was a child, yet over the years, I've had friends that have battled cancer and different diseases. And me sitting in that hospital, like, I'm such a go-getter and a positive person. And I always thought, like, how could people just not, keep going through? And then there, as I sat in the hospital bed, I'm like, this is tiring. It's draining. I had IVs in my arms. I couldn't even text or friends, or I was so it gave me empathy. And so as we go through difficult times, we can look at them and we can say, what lessons can I learn from this, that when I come out on the other side, how does it make me a better person? And so now I'm more empathetic for people who are in the hospital or going through trials. One of the biggest things that gratitude can do is, if you do it consistently, is have a mindset shift. You can swap complaining and the negative things for the positive. Have you ever walked in a room, or even maybe today you went up to somebody and they started dumping on you all the bad things going on in life or whatever it is? How does that make you feel? What's that energy that they give you? And so thinking about, okay, instead of coming out with a complaint, what's the positive thing that I could say in the situation? And that's what I did every day in the hospital. Was I had a drug that in the IV I reacted to immediately. My face turned flush, my heart rate went up, and they came in, but they had to get me that drug. And so they were able to slow it down. Instead of taking an hour, it took 5 hours. But I was grateful that I was still able to get that drug. I was grateful I was in the hospital and had a reaction where a nurse could come in and help me. So you take these things that can be bad things, you swap them, and then use gratitude. The last one that I want to end on is just being grateful for the people that come in and out of your life. Your employees, the people that help you on day to day. I don't know about you, I use the Ship It Shoppers, and I'm so grateful every time they come to the house with my groceries. But it's not just saying thank you during this season of gratitude, it's constantly noticing people doing the small things in your life. If you're an employer, there's tons of research behind gratitude: increased productivity, increased engagement, decreased people taking time off work, because people at the end of the day, a lot of times they just want to hear thank you. And they want it to be very specific. Tell them specifically what you're grateful for and how they're impacting you, your life, in your business. This isn't an all-inclusive list. I could write about gratitude. I could write about gratitude all the time, but hopefully I gave you something practical to take into this week and into your new year, maybe a new year goal to start to practice gratitude. And remember, there's research behind it. There's healing power in gratitude. It changes your days. It lowers anxiety. It lowers depression. And at the end of the day, I just read a Harvard research that he was talking about. If people win the lottery, they will have a spike in happiness till about the end of the year, a couple of months, and then they'll go back to their life. But if people who consistently practice giving and gratitude and pursuing their passions, they will see a big spike. And if they do it consistently, their happiness will continue at that level. So may God bless you and pour out blessings in this Thanksgiving week.
Thank you, Stephanie, for those great reminders and lessons. We'll be donating a children's book to the local library in honor of you being here today. We really appreciate that. We have a few extra minutes, but anybody would like to share some gratitude stories and when maybe it wasn't such a great time to have gratitude? Natalie, did I miss you earlier? I wasn't calling on you. I'm just like, there she is. You have more tags? Okay. Do you have more gift tags? Okay. Unwrapped. Yeah. Here's what we have today. For example, put the tags on it. Stu brought these beautiful soft slippers and handed them to me, so I just tossed them over there, and he had a problem with that. I was thinking as Stephanie was talking about enjoying squirrels and enjoying wildlife, you know, during COVID, right at the beginning of COVID is when I had my open heart surgery, and so I was like double quarantined. And I honestly enjoyed my yard so much more when that's all we had to do, really. So it's a reminder, take time to do that. You know, every little bloom on my trees and the birds and the bird feeder, and I was doing some photography and learned some tricks on the iPhone camera. And so I noticed this spring, I barely paid attention to my trees. And that was a loss to me. So stop and slow down and smell the roses, right? Thank you for that reminder. Does anybody have a story? Share your gratitude story. Debbie, you're smiling. She's had some hard times. She's had some hard times and still smiling. Some broken bones over here. Larry?
I can give everybody
What do you say?
He's gonna shut up, so we're all
Oh, you
right.
can be thankful that he shut up.
Yeah.
I will share.
No, Diane.
So, as you all know, I spent most of my summer not playing tennis and in a broken arm. So the last 2 Saturdays I've gone back to the habit of playing. And I will tell you what's happened is that, boy, my backhand has really improved because I had to learn to think with my left hand, which I do not do. And so I'm much more able to think. I'm not sure I'm that much stronger, somewhat stronger because I've lifted up with my left hand. But it is interesting how a bad thing can help something else grow. So,
I thought of Ellen the other night. What a wonderful veterans program. What a tough time she's been through for what, 2 years? About a year. All in 1 year. And she's got her smile. So, any other stories of thankfulness, gratefulness?
not a story, but I wanted to say thank you to Ted and Greg and Jonathan for coming and doing Rotary 101 class for Satellite Club. Thank you.
That was fun. Right, Greg?
Mhm.
Right, Jonathan? Fun. that reminds me, Adam shared a story about the leadership series and the roundtables. And Sylva's not here today. She made a wonderful flyer for our program. And Adam shared that that's how he used that to show his employer. And that's how he got released twice a month to come to our Rotary leadership series meeting. So I'm grateful for Sylva for doing that. And McKenna told us that would help have some nice flyer to give to employers. So I'll remind you to invite young people to join. They can still come twice a month, no dues this year, just for the cost of meals, and we even give a little discounted price on the meals. We're going to continue those speakers and roundtables into the new year. Next week is the roundtable discussions around our last leadership lesson from Ed Everett. And then on December 6th, we're having the Valpo High School basketball coach here, Bob Coleman's nephew, Barrick Coleman. And we just spent an hour together this week, and I'll tell you, you won't want to miss him. Such a warm, gentle man, but with such high standards and strong leadership skills. And he shares his story of how he went through some obstacles to achieve his dream of being a high school basketball coach. And we'll also have a Rotary International Foundation presentation from Jonathan on December 6th. Any other announcements? Great. Yes.
PR social committee meets right after this, right here. Thanks.
If you do help with PR, or supposed to help with PR, or would like to help with PR, please stay. And that's running the computers and the Zoom meetings. So thank you very much. Let's stand and close with the four-way toss. Of the things we think, say, or do, is the truth, is fair to all concerned, will it build goodwill and better friendships, will it be beneficial to all concerned, and is it fun?